Hi, I'm Mike Marino, and this is a brand new episode of Live from My Mother's Basement. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Live from My Mother's Basement. I'm very excited to be down in the basement tonight or during the day, whenever it is that you're actually watching the show, because we never know. But as far as I know, we do air every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. I say Jersey time. You could say East Coast time. We say Jersey time because we're from New Jersey. I'm very happy to have tonight's guest on the show because he's Italian. He's from the neighborhood, and he's got a lot of stuff he's going to tell you, and he's going to tell me too, because I got a lot of questions about what he does for a living. So let's say hello to Stephen Marinaro, everybody. Boom!
Hey, you pronounced it right.
I did. Oh, hey, I'm Italian. I know Marinaro.
Before we start, you want to check me? I'm not wired.
Oh. There's a wise guy in the basement.
What an opening, huh? What an opening.
There's no wire here. I don't know. He does have a button-down shirt. That's usually a good signal.
But the car parked in the front, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, that's a nice car out there. I saw you pull up. What kind of car is that?
It's a Stinger. It's a
Stinger.
Kia Stinger. It's their highest end vehicle, and most people don't want to spend that much for a Kia, but it's their highest end vehicle. And when I first got that car, it was in 2019. And I was going to trade in, I think I had like an Optima or something. And I saw that car and I said, "What is that thing?" He goes, "Oh, that's a Stinger. That's our highest end vehicle. You know, that's too high end." I'm like, no. Can we take it for a test drive? Took it for a test drive and I go, okay, I need this car. And, you know, it's definitely more expensive than I was looking into, but it's a twin turbo, 6-cylinder. It's a beast. They actually were going to stop making that car because nobody wanted to spend that kind of money for it.
Oh, really?
And then they brought it back, and you see them floating around, but it's a nice car. It's a nice car. You know?
I might have to look into something like that because I drive a Nissan Rogue,
Yep.
and I like it, and I want to get another one, but I haven't been in a car in a long time. I always had the SUV because I tour, and I want to put shit in the trunk and have plenty of room and you know, bring a couple of bodies. So maybe I should look into it.
Yeah. Like I said, they're out there. You don't see that many because most people want to go into like an Audi or a Mercedes, different price point. Because you're talking 50s and 60s for this thing. You know what I mean? So,
well, it looked like you had a Mercedes, or it looked like a Lamborghini.
Yeah, it draws attention. It does. It draws attention.
Well, then maybe I need that. I wouldn't mind having a little attention. Okay, no kidding. Well, hey, that's good to know, everybody. Yep. If you're looking for a badass car and you don't want to spend a lot of money, look into the Kia.
Yep.
You might save yourself a couple of bucks. I mean,
yeah, it's a nice car.
It's not like when we were younger when you bought a really cool, badass 1967 Mustang and it just made it to going around the corner, but you look cool.
Yeah. I think my first car, it was like a tank. It was an Oldsmobile.
Oh, yeah?
Like an 80. I just turned 50. As you know, I just turned 50. When you get there, you'll know what it's like when you get there.
When I get there.
Does it get better or worse when you go into your 50s?
I don't know.
Oh, the memory's gone.
I passed 50. I don't even know how old I am.
Right. So the memory starts to go.
Holy shit. That's right. I entertained at your birthday party.
Yeah, and I appreciate that.
I went to his backyard.
The FBI hasn't left since. But yeah, it's been great. It's been great. As someone who's gone through a series, my first was like a tank. I think it was like an 80-something Oldsmobile. And then, various types of cars. And then I started leasing and, so.
But didn't we all buy tanks in the good old days?
That's all there was, really.
Because your father said to you, I don't know about you, but my father said to me, you want to get the biggest car you could find so you have a lot of armor around you. So when you get in a car accident, you won't get hurt.
Exactly. Even with the SUVs. You drive an SUV, it's the same thing.
And there were no seatbelts. This way, if you're in a car accident, all that metal will save your life.
That's true.
I had a
That's true.
67 Mustang when I was 16 years old. Bought it myself, $600, and you were living large.
Wow.
And your father said, okay, the car looks nice. I'm glad. I'm proud of you. You did your own thing. You got your own license. Here's a baseball bat. Keep that in the front seat, and you'll be all right.
Holy cow. Was it brand new when you got that thing?
No. 67 Mustang. It was probably had 4 owners.
Wow.
But
was it fast? It was probably fast, right?
No, it was a piece of junk. You spend half your life trying to remodel it and shop at school, but auto shop.
Auto shop.
You learned how to change your oil, and you thought you were badass. I'm like, when I graduate, I'm going to be a mechanic. It didn't happen. No, went to showbiz.
Well, I'll tell you, Mike, this basement, being here, growing up, I grew up basically 6 minutes away from here. The
Yeah,
house
so where were you born?
I was born. Well, I was born in Elizabeth, New Jersey. But my childhood, I was adopted at a very young age. I don't know if I told you that, but I was adopted into the Marinaro family at a very, very young age. I don't want to go too dark downhill, but it was, I had to get adopted for a reason. And my mother, rest her soul, passed. She was a foster mother. So she was able to care for me at a very young age. And that was here in Scotch Plains on Mountain Avenue. Okay, so it's literally 6 minutes away from here. I grew up in Scotch Plains. And I'm a Catholic schoolboy, okay? I have the holy water right here for us. But I went to St. Bart's.
Right.
And then I went to Union Catholic.
No shit.
And my whole family went to a Catholic school. I think it was like in my family, you had to go to Catholic school. You know what I mean? So everyone went to the same schools.
Let's set that up for everybody. This town is beautiful. We talk about it all the time. I videotape it all the time. This is Scotch Plains, New Jersey. People here live in a bit of a time warp or maybe a bubble, if you may. There's no racism here. There's no crime in here. You can leave your car open. You can leave your house open. Everybody knows everybody. Say hello, say good morning. Or maybe you do, maybe you don't. Half the people work in the businesses in these towns are generation after generation after generation. Hand it down, hand it down. It's great. Now, there's Catholic schools in this town. One of them's called St. Bart's, and the other very famous one is Union Catholic. Since I went to a Catholic school in Jersey City and we moved to Scotch Plains, our family said, you're going to go to a public school, which petrified the shit out of
Me
you.
too. I know.
Because you're like, oh, we're going to get beat up.
Exactly. They're like a prison almost, right?
Yeah, you think it's a prison, but it's actually not. However, I grew up Catholic too. So what does your parents make you do? You go to Sunday school. Sunday school, we went to St. Bart's, which is the church. It's in walking distance. Beautiful church. It was a lot of fun. Petrifying. But once you get the confirmation, is it?
Yep. Well, communion,
You're done.
confirmation.
Communion,
Yeah.
confirmation. You're
right.
done with Catholic school,
Right.
and then you go into the world. So
Here you go, world.
his world was a little different than mine. He did Catholic school, which is really great because, if I may say, if you're adopted, maybe some of those kids become a little bit rebellious because they don't know who their real parents are. I'm just spitballing.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, there's
However, I will say this, though. You want to teach your kid the right way to grow up, you send them to Catholic school because that's going to scare the living shit out of them.
Right. You know what's interesting? I had my son at St. Bart's, okay? And up to about fifth grade. So St. Bartholomew in Catholic school, you're in a class of like 15, 20 kids, maybe 23 kids. Public school, you have a class there's like 500 and freshmen, you know what I mean? So, and the same thing with me. I think my graduating class at St. Bart's was like 20, and Union Catholic was like 90. That was my graduating class. But I had my son in St. Bart's, and I was like, he's got to go to Catholic school. And he ended up having a lot of trouble. His grades were awful, and it turns out he was mentally and emotionally miserable. There was the two other boys in his class, one was a bully. It was just a nightmare. I went to guidance counselor. This kid threatened his, I'm going to kill you. And the principal said, oh, just say a prayer, you'll be fine. I go, not really. Public school, the FBI will show up if that happens. So I took him out of Catholic school, and my sister, Mary Lou, who you met, she was in the public school system. She used to teach at, Terrell and Park. She's really well connected in town. She goes, I said, he has to go into Terrell Middle School on the south side. He went there, and I was like, there's no way he's going to survive public school. And then he went to the high school, and he blossomed. He enjoyed it.
Why do you think he was going to?
Because what we said before.
Get beat up.
It's going to get beat up. He's around a whole bunch of kids, everyone's opinions. He's not going to make it. I was petrified, and he ended up, he loved it. He went, he graduated from the high school over here in Scotch Plains, and then he went to Rutgers. But yeah, it's this crazy thing.
When you first start going to public school, one of the coolest things is you can't believe you're going to school in a pair of jeans and a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Because wearing a uniform going to a Catholic school, you thought, okay, this is the way to do it.
Yep.
You probably had 2 pairs of the pants, 2 pairs of the shirts, two ties, clip-ons,
Yep.
and you went to church. You went to school.
Yep.
Then all of a sudden you're at public school and you're like, wait a minute, I could wear jeans? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and sneakers.
And wherever you want, basically.
Yeah.
You want to hear a funny story? This
course.
has to do with my.
What a setup for a comedian.
Listen
You
to
want to hear a
this.
funny story?
It has to do with hair, believe it or not. When I was in, I think it was a sophomore year at Union Catholic, I decided to get lines in my head. Remember years ago, you get like 2 lines in your head and you were super cool? I show up to school, and in the hallways was like a disciplinarian patrolling the hallways. You know what I mean? So, hey, Marinaro, get over here. What are you doing? Get out of. So anyway, he spotted me. Marinaro, get over here. I said, okay. He goes, what is that? I go, what are you talking about? He goes, your head. What the hell did you do to your hair? That's not allowed here. Get to the principal's office. Got brought into the principal's office, and he has me in there, and he goes, you can't wear that here in this school. I go, what are you talking about? It's my hair. He goes, you have 2 choices. You can either walk around school with a bag over your head, or you shave it. And I said, wait, I actually can walk around school with a bag over my head? and he actually go, and he looked at he looked at me like this. Not one. I go, oh my God, this guy's serious. I went back to the woman who did it, and I go, we have to shave this. She goes, what? I go, it's not allowed at my school. So she shaved an entire chunk of my hair off, and I was walking around school like that. So all my hair was in here, and this whole side of here was completely shaved bald because it wasn't allowed. Talk about like that's like torture to somebody. You know what I mean?
You can imagine what they get away with these days.
Oh, forget it.
Yeah, you can go to school dressed like a cat. Hey, that's okay. Yeah. Imagine dressing like a cat back in the day when we were in school, boy. You wouldn't last 2 seconds.
No.
Somebody pick you up and throw you in a garbage compactor.
Yeah, now you have to identify. Oh, you're a cat? Okay.
Yeah,
how you doing? What'd you say? Meow? Okay, how you doing?
Hey, meow. How you doing? Where's your brother Bow Wow?
But yeah, it's been interesting. And then to top it off, a lot of my education, a lot of what I did was here in Scotch Plains. So after graduating Union Catholic, I didn't know what I wanted to do. Okay, down the street from me, you know where Nunzio's is, the pizzeria.
Yeah.
So there was a little strip, not a mall, but like a strip mall of
corner.
There was
corner.
Like a row of stores. The pharmacy is over there.
He's still there, Nunzio's.
I know.
Not the original guy.
Right. But the place.
They never even changed the name of the place, which is a good idea.
Yep.
But right next to it's a sandwich shop, and I think it's called Mountain Avenue Deli.
Yep, the deli's been there forever too.
Nothing changed. One of the coolest things is to go in there, you feel like it's 1948.
Remember the original owner? There was the guy who bought it with the glasses. Walt. Walt was the original owner, Walter.
Oh, he's all right?
Yeah. Do you remember
I can't remember all of this.
Because I used to walk there every day. It's on Mountain Avenue, so I used to walk there. There was a hair salon in that grouping of stores. I'm walking by, and from a distance, from the sidewalk, I looked and I go, oh my God, who was that girl?
There was a hair salon in there?
Yep. It used to be called...
I remember the pharmacy.
Touche. It was so the pharmacy, and then there was a driveway, and then on the right where the cleaners were, that was where the hair salon was. So from a distance, I saw this, I thought it was a girl in there. I go, oh my God, that girl is drop-dead gorgeous. And every time I'd go by there, it wasn't considered stalking back then, but I would go.
It's just taking a look.
Yeah, I was just looking. Hey, so I would see her, and I had graduated. I had no job. I was living at home still, and I go, I got to meet that girl. So I walked, because she was checking me out too. I walked in, and we were this far apart, and I go, oh my God, she's like 30 years older than me. And then she looked at me, and she was like, you're like 12. You know what I mean? And she goes, I said, I'm looking for a job. And she goes, are you a hairstylist? I go, what? I go, no, I'm looking to take the trash out. I need a job. I said, I want to come in just to meet you. That didn't work out, that part of it. But she goes, well, I mean, that introduced me to the hair industry. And that's when I go, okay, you can work here, but you want to be an assistant? I'm like, an assistant? What the hell? What even is that? I had no idea what that was. At the time, though, I was familiar with cutting hair because I used to shave my friends' like heads and underneath and all those undercuts. I was used to doing clippers, but I didn't think I'm going to do this for a career. So that introduced me to this could be a career. You can go to school.
I don't remember there being a hair
salon. Yeah, it's called Touche.
In that corner?
Well, okay, so you got the pharmacy. He was all the way on the corner of the pharmacy, and then the driveway,
yeah.
And then that first building.
Oh wow!
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, okay, I know that building.
Yeah,
right now, that building's like.
There was a cleaners in there too.
Yes, wow.
That was a hair salon.
Now you get food. What am I thinking? It's called
like a sushi?
Hacky Berry.
Oh, okay, one of those. Yeah.
Oh, I don't like those places.
I know. So
I can imagine that a health food store right next to a pizza place and a sandwich shop.
Right. And then a cardiologist right there. But yeah, I got jokes.
So you went in there, and that's what made you think, hey, this could be a good idea.
Well, yeah, they told me, they go, you can go to school for this. And then I went to Union County Votech in Scotch Plains. And they had a program, technical schools, they have hair, you want to be a mechanic, engineer, all that. So I went into the hair program. Now, there's a lot to my life, Mike. A lot of interesting things in my life. I was also a DJ. I was a nightclub DJ, and I was DJing at a place, you may have heard of it, called The Limelight
In New York.
in New York City.
Hold on now.
Wait, the flashbacks, here they come.
We got to enlighten everybody because not everybody's watching from New York or New Jersey. Many
Right.
people watching, luckily enough, from different parts of the world,
Right.
and I thank you all for doing that.
Yes.
The Limelight in New York City was probably one of the most iconic places to go because it was, I think, the first place to actually open up this type of a joint in a church.
Yes.
Which
Yep.
at that time was like, you're going to do what? You're going to commit sin in what used to be a church, which still is a church, and its rival at that time would have been Studio 54.
Yep. And then Palladium.
Palladium.
54 was before me. Did you ever go to Studio 54? You're too young.
I
for
went
that.
to Studio 54 when they were having reunions.
Oh my gosh.
I went to Xenon's. At
Whoa.
the time, Xenon's was jumping because I knew a waiter there. I remember this guy waited tables at Xenon's. He would come home with $10,000 a week. Cash. Yes,
Oh my
that's
God.
70s.
Holy cow.
But, well, because that was the time. And
Yeah.
Xenon's was like Limelight. You go there for the show. There's a show going on. The lights, the DJ.
Yeah, the DJ, the guy, whacking off in the
Creating.
corner,
Yes, the cocaine.
all that stuff.
Fucking.
The amount of celebrities that I saw at the Limelight in like different side rooms that were doing a lot of that. And I used to see them and know them and, hey, how you doing? Hey, no, I'm good. I said to myself, I would never snort or inject anything in my life. And I stay true to that. I never did it. Even back then when it was all in front of me, I never did it. I messed around with other stuff, but that's why I'm
Tell us about how old you were when you started at the Limelight.
18.
18.
I was actually 17 when I first started going to clubs in New York. The Palladium was my first, and then the Limelight. So when you walk into these clubs back then, it's kind of like the Studio 54 thing. You see dozens, hundreds of people outside. They can't even get in. So with the Limelight and Palladium, you actually had to walk up and get picked to get in. So I'll never forget this. The first time my friend and I, he was from Scotch Plain Sioux, Dennis, we went to the Palladium. And he's like, look, we have to like act like we're gay or something weird, and we have to pretend to get in. We walk up, and there's a guy named Kenny. He was the rope guy. You probably know, but Kenny, he was from Ireland, or Scott. No, I think he was Irish. And he was, makeup and all dressed up. We're like, look at this guy, and he's looking at us, and we're like 17 years old. And he goes, let me see your ID. He only took my ID, and I had blonde hair. I was I was good looking back then. So he took my ID, and he goes, Scotch Plains, in this accent. And he goes, you're cute. And I go, thanks. He goes, come on in. And he let my friend and I in. And we were in. And there was dozens and dozens of people behind us dying to get into this club. That started being exposed to these clubs. Then you start making connections. You see people. That's where it all started. And
That's
then
the club life, man.
the club life, for a whole year straight, from 1992 to 93, I DJ'd at the Limelight Wednesday nights, called the Hot Body Contest, or I'm sorry, Disco 2000. And I went on after the Hot Body Contest. Now, if you watch this movie, there was actually a guy named Michael Alec murdered someone, and there was a movie made about it. That's the guy who was my boss.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Your boss was a murderer?
Macaulay Culkin was in Party Monster was the name of the movie.
Oh, is that right?
That's the movie Party Monster. That was all about the Limelight and the person who killed someone named Angel. Cut him up.
What year did the Limelight open?
Oh, that I don't know. I would
Was it
say
before
early
90s, right?
Yeah. I would say early 80s maybe.
So was it open for quite some time before you started working there?
It was. And the way I got that, it's very similar to how show business works, is I got asked to do, so back then they called these people club kids or freaks. You see them on like, back in the day, like Geraldo, they're dressed like crazy makeup and outfits. And those are the people who I was like, they're different, but they're cool. I connected with one guy, and I used to give him tapes, mixtapes. And I go, here's my tape, man. Here's my tape. I'm a DJ. He listened to my tape, and he goes, I host an after-hours party that started at 7 a.m. Started at 7 a.m. He goes, I want you to come DJ at my after-hours party. I go, okay.
After hours.
It started
Should
at 7.
be called After the Day.
Right. So I go there, and back then I was playing music called hardcore techno, which is probably like 180 beats per minute. Bum, 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 bum. It's like you had to be so on speed to even dance.
What years was this? 90s?
90s, yeah, early 90s. So I'm in there.
That was techno, wasn't it?
Hardcore techno.
Punk?
No. That's completely different. This was a specific genre called hardcore techno. Most of this music was coming out of Amsterdam and Rotterdam. So I go in, and that's what I was brought in for because they all love that stuff. And I start playing this hardcore techno. At least 5 people come up to me and go, "Are you from Rotterdam or Amsterdam?" I go, "I'm from New Jersey." They go, "New Jersey?" No one played that kind of music. The guy who was the host of the Limelight that night, the biggest DJ, Kyoki was his name, came up to me. I had no idea who this guy was. He goes, "Hey, I love your stuff. Where are you from?" I'm like, "What, Europe?" I go, "I'm from Jersey." He goes, "Jersey?" He goes,
The other side of Europe.
yeah, he goes, "Hey, here's a record of mine." Now he didn't play hardcore, but he goes, "Here's a record of mine." Gave me the record. He goes, "How about you come play at my party?" I go, "Okay, where's that?" He's like, "The Limelight, Disco 2000 Wednesday nights." I go, "Okay." I had no idea what that was. No idea. So now I was making some connections and some friends, and I said to one of my dude, Kyoki asked me to spin with him at Disco 2. What even that? He goes, "Are you effing kidding me?" That's like, so make a long story short, I was there to DJ. It was Wednesday night, Thanksgiving Eve, the night before Thanksgiving, the biggest party ever. I have my Crater Records. I had like, you have a guest list. I had like 15, 20 people.
The crate of records.
Yeah, my Crater Records. And I go in, and I got to the booth. And let me tell you, Mike, it was a booth where it was for that night, was positioned over the entire club. And I went on after the show called the Hot Body Contest, where people go on stage and basically strip down and get rated on stage. I go on and I start playing my music. Literally 5 of the top New York City DJs came up to me and said, "Who the hell are you?" And that is what got me into the New York City scene of DJs. I proved myself. I had the opportunity and I proved myself. And now from then forward, I got into the nightlife. And then I was going to beauty school here in the Scotch Plains, coming back all messed up on who knows what. And that's kind of, and then my career kind of started from there. I didn't take school seriously. I was more interested in partying and stuff like that. At the time, my son's mother, that's who I was with. We had him. And then everything, it gets further and further into like the career and all that stuff. But I did live the nightlife for a long time. And yes, acid does have a long-term effect. By the way, the pink elephant, he'll be gone in 5 minutes.
How did they even get the rights to make a church a nightclub?
I mean, I don't think you
Like
need rights. They just own the building.
What was it before Limelight?
A church. It was literally an entire church. I mean,
Probably from the 1800s.
Yes. I used to go in there, and the funny thing is like, oh, it's like sacrilege. You do that over there.
Yeah.
I can walk around and pick out spots where, oh, I did this to her right there. You know what I mean? Like, mess around the bathrooms and all that. It was
How many
crazy.
people could be there at one time?
Thousands and thousands.
Thousands, right?
Oh, I was DJing for thousands of people. But the problem was I'd be getting home at 7, 8 in the morning and having gone right to school. You know what I mean? It was crazy. And I was living here. My mother, West told, I never told, this is something interesting. This is how I got caught. I used to lie to my mother that I was going into New York. You know how painful that is to lie to your mother? But I didn't want her to know what I was doing.
Because the city was scary to some
was.
people. And if you're in New Jersey, especially out in the Scotch Plains, which is the suburbs, you get to Manhattan, and it's a whole different world.
It is.
Everybody's all jacked up, whacked out. Still is.
Yep.
I mean, you know, you tell people here, you go into the city.
Yep.
They didn't really take too lightly to that
No.
because you're kind of like, you're going, where?
Yep.
Aren't you afraid?
Exactly. And
You're going to get killed.
Yeah, I never told my mother. And how I got caught or had to open up to her was I was walking upstairs and she had Geraldo on TV. And she had all the club kids sitting across. And I go, "Oh my God, those are my friends." She goes, "You know them?" I go, wait, what do you mean? She goes, "How do you know them? Do you know what these people are doing?" I go, "Oh my God, Ma." And then I said, "Ma, listen, I got something to tell you." And I confessed to her. I said, "Ma, I've been lying to you. I've been going into the city and I've been DJing and I know these people." She goes, "Are you okay?" And fortunately she was, she was like my mother was like this tall, she was about, 4'9",
yeah.
if that, and I said, "Ma, everything's cool." And I opened up to her and I felt so much better, but I held that from her. And she caught me from saying, "I know those freaks on TV." You know what I mean? Yeah.
There's my son.
Yeah, exactly. But then I DJ'd in the nightlife scene for over 20 years. I was a resident DJ in a lot of clubs in New Jersey, New York, and I had to give it up, man. I had to give it up. It's brutal on your lifestyle. You know?
Well, yeah, you're going out every night.
I mean, did you ever do a weekly before? Like a weekly at a stand-up somewhere? Or you were like a weekly kind of thing? Did you ever, like the same place?
No, a residency.
Yeah,
no.
residency, yeah.
No, I like traveling. I like going to different places. But I have the nightlife as well. I just don't stay out that late. I can get home by an average by 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. But that's all I really want. And I really don't do the city like I did when I was younger. Now I just do theaters for wherever I feel like going. But that's really interesting. So then how did you catapult into the hair business?
Yeah, the hair business. So that, working at that salon, I went to my first hair show. My first hair show, which was a big convention of different brands and businesses and things like that. And I walked in, the doors open. And here I am, I think I was 18 years old. And I walk in this big convention center, and I see a guy on stage wearing a suit, working on, he had 3 beautiful blonde models next to him. And I go, I want to be that guy.
Yeah.
I want to be that guy in a suit on stage with beautiful blondes and everything. I was just like, and that's what I want. And sure enough, that individual, same guy, became my mentor. Now, this is very important. Having a mentor, not everybody goes through this in their life, but having a mentor or somebody who can guide you is life-changing.
It is, because they're really helping you out in a way that you didn't know it was actually possible, and you don't have to, we all have mentors. Thank God I have a few in my life, and they're still in my life, and I'm mentoring people now myself.
Yep.
I didn't think I would be that type of a person, but I have a lot of kids that are like, hey, can you help out? And I'm like, well, sure, because they look at you like, wow, look what he does.
Right.
And you're like, really?
Yep. And my mentor actually put me through a lot of brutal situations, purposely made me feel, oh my, what are you doing? Why are you making me work at this salon and that salon? And so to get the job for L'Oreal, he worked for L'Oreal. That's who the company he was working for, L'Oreal Professional.
Clark?
That's where one of the offices is. But I was actually, and what he did was he went out and trained professionals in salons about hair color. And that's what I want to do. And that's the job that I got. So he made me practice and rehearse this script because I had to audition for it. So in the audition, I literally recited the L'Oreal manual word for word. And there was like 6 executives from L'Oreal. And when I was done, they were like this. They go, we've never heard anyone recite the entire L'Oreal manual before. My mentor made me memorize it. And he was like, it's better to be way over the top and be over prepared than not.
So
right?
L'Oreal is basically what you were training to do was be a colorist?
Teach people hair coloring.
You wanted to teach people hair coloring.
And that's what I was doing.
Oh, is that right?
Yep. So that's my role with L'Oreal, was an educator. So I'd go in and teach people, hair color, the theory of color, L'Oreal products, because they had their own hair color line, which I still do. And here I am, some 18, 19-year-old kid. Actually, I was 21 because I had to do 3 years of learning and working in salons. Walking in and trying to tell someone who's been doing hair for 50 years, no, this is how you color hair. They go, really, kid?
So becoming a hairstylist, hair colorist,
Right.
You do men and women's hair cutting and shaping and all of that.
All that stuff. I've retired from seeing clients at this point. I've retired from seeing clients. This is having, huge clientele for many, many years, working in various salons. Then expanding my content, and which we'll get into my brands and all that. But I worked in many, many hair salons all throughout New Jersey. And yes, I've worked on men, women, doing haircuts, like a regular hairstylist,
Right. All right. So let's get into a question that I have, and I'm sure there's a lot of people watching right now that have the same identical question. Why does our hair fall out? I mean, come on.
It's hereditary.
Is it really
stress.
hereditary? Am I wasting my time with propecia?
Propecia, that's, it's one of those that's...
I've been taking Propecia probably for 25 years.
Yeah.
I don't think it's worked.
No, they say it keeps what you have and also grows in some light peach fuzz.
Yeah.
But, one of my products helps fight hair loss. It's got peppermint in it, and it's blocks DHT. Which...
Well, good. Then we'll get into that. So what is the reason why mostly men, I mean, there is women, but I mean men, lose their hair? Why is that?
Yeah, what happens is, hair is dead, to be honest with you. Hair isn't alive. That people think, oh, the hair, it's technically dead. You know what I mean? And then just the hair the follicle just, it stops growing. It gets clogged, or a number of reasons, hereditary. The biggest one, stress, sometimes medication. Pregnancies, a lot of people who go on medications, one of the side effects is hair loss. And that's true, But it just, it's something that happens and you can't fight it. And,
I'm okay with what I'm holding on to. I mean, I can get a haircut from time to time. I'm
Still got
never
hair.
gonna. I'm not really gonna go that route.
Yeah.
How old were you when you said, you know what, screw it, I'm shaving it?
Yeah, I mean, I can't. I think after my son was born, that's when I started to take on the shaving. Which people think you shave your head, it's easy. It's more maintenance to shave this damn head every 2 days than people think.
Well, it's probably like shaving your face. I mean, I've never done
It's such a piece
it.
of work. Oh my God, you got to sit every 2-3 days, But
Well, speaking of shaving, have you actually trained to give a man that straight razor shave?
okay, so that's barbering.
Barber, yeah.
Yes. Now I've been trained on it. I haven't done it in years, so I technically can't. I wouldn't, hold a straight razor. If you said, "Steven, give me a nice shave right now with a straight razor," I go, "Is there a hospital nearby?"
Yeah, let's not bother. But you've done it?
Not really. I've shaved with like regular razors, not like a straight barber razor. My thing is go, I'm better in this and better in that. I won't touch this because I'm just not that great at it. Like wedding hair. There's a huge thing for doing wedding hairstyles. I used to do that years ago. I gave up on it. I don't do it anymore. So there's a lot of people nowadays in the hair industry going, "Oh, I don't do that." They don't do it,
Well, if you were cutting hair, you cut mostly men or everybody?
Both. I'm actually, I had a really good mix of a clientele. I had more male clients than most hairstylists because I was really good at men's hair cutting. I also had a lot of female, so I had a really, really big clientele. I had some, some heavy hitters, some high-level executives, some celebrities here and there, and all that,
I wouldn't mind getting a haircut. We get a haircut during the podcast. Really don't need one right now.
Yeah.
The only part of my head that grows is the back.
Yeah, exactly.
What the fuck, man?
You know how Justin Timberlake is bringing sexy back?
Yeah.
I'm bringing Harry back.
Yeah.
Look at this.
That's good. That's pretty good. I'm bringing Harry back. So now you got your own products, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like a skincare line, but you got hair care
Hair
line.
products. You have a full range of hair products. They're unisex, and that's a long, long journey in itself. But it starts off with my brand, the Salon Guy.
The Salon Guy.
I mean, it's
a cool title. It's a cool brand.
Yeah.
The Salon Guy. Who are you going to see? The Salon Guy.
That's
You got a guy. I got a guy.
Hey.
What does he do? He's in the salon business.
Yep, he's my guy. He's a Salon Guy.
All right. So we got some products here on the bar.
Yep.
Some of the products I've been using, and some of the products I took with me on these last 2 weeks on the cruise.
Ooh,
and I
didn't throw it
enjoy
over,
it.
did you?
No. I used the products. I took your lead when you told me you really don't have to wash your hair every day. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I wash my hair with a Get the Gray Out product, which you saw.
Yeah.
Which works.
That's great.
It works. I do dye my hair, let's say, once a month.
Yep.
They got rid of Sandy Blonde.
Uh-oh.
They discontinued Sandy Blonde. You got to get just for men light brown.
Ooh.
But it works. It actually
Have you
does
switched
the
over
job.
yet?
I did. I started.
Okay.
I had no choice. But
It looks good.
I do it.
Perfect.
You just don't leave it in there as long.
No.
So that I've been using. There are some products that he gave me to try that I wish I could use because this is really super cool.
It is.
This to me reminds me of something from back in the day. You're going to tell us all about it, but just the can alone, and then you pop it open like this, and it smells delicious.
Yep, it does.
Almost like a
Let me
candle.
get a whiff. Oh, man.
Almost like a candle.
Yep.
But this is like a thick, styles certain parts of your hair. I was trying to put it in my sideburns.
Yeah. But you have it. You can use
I've been
products to
using it
style
for a little bit.
Yeah.
This is the one that I've been having the most fun with.
The hairspray.
Which the hairspray.
Yep.
It smells good. It looks good. It holds your hair down. That's for damn sure.
Yep.
And it's by the Salon Guy. And then I've also had the shampoo, which I think
Pure.
This
It's
is
called
the
Pure
Pure
shampoo.
shampoo.
Yep.
And then it comes with a conditioner.
Yep.
And believe it or not, I do love using conditioner because, I know I don't need to get some thick comb through my hair, but it feels good.
It does.
Talk to us, man.
Yes. So the thing about hair, this particular hair product set, my shampoo and conditioner Pure, it's got an ingredient that helps block DHT, which is what causes hair loss. So that this helps fight it. So it helps grow thicker hair. It's great for the scalp. It's got peppermint, and that peppermint really is good for revitalizing the scalp. And it's loaded with good organic extracts, so it's clean, it's sulfate free, paraben free. It's a really clean, high quality product with the shampoo and the conditioner. Now, conditioner, there it is right there. The conditioner is something that most people will say, do I need a conditioner? Right? Even yourself, a guy like you may say, oh, I just shampoo my hair. Now, my shampoos, all my products make your hair feel soft enough where you might not need a conditioner, but a conditioner actually helps detangle your hair and it makes it feel nice and smooth and conditioned. Because if you don't use it, your hair can just end up being very dry. A conditioner really just seals down the cuticle and helps detangle. It makes your hair feel nice and moisturized. That's why conditioners are important. So I think anyone can use a conditioner. Now, on the flip side, conditioners sometimes can be too heavy for someone. And if you're watching this and you have maybe fine hair and you go, oh my God, conditioner weighs my hair down. It can weigh your hair down if you are using it the wrong way. Meaning you're taking a glob of it and putting it on your scalp because the volume comes from the scalp, doesn't come from the ends. So what you need to do is work it through the ends lightly first and then maybe work your way up to the scalp. That's a little bit of a hair tip and trick for people who maybe lack volume or their hair is very fine and the conditioners weigh their hair down. Start at the bottom and don't put it really on the scalp, and that's going to help. That's going to help. So you're not really weighing the hair down on top where the volume's coming from. You see look at this. This is where the volume comes from right there. Look at that.
Right? I shave that.
You do? Oh God.
I do. I shave
do you
my
see
chest
this
down.
carpet? It would take me 3 months to shave all this. You know what I mean?
You get the regular razor, you put a little connecting on it that keeps it the number 3, and away you go. You're neating that up. And, every once in a while you make your way down south, you trim that up. Well, I could do the back.
Yeah. So we actually look very similar. The same skin tones.
Yeah.
Being that we're Italian, you don't see a lot of Italians blue. I'm actually half German, so my biological is Italian and German, I believe. That's where I don't look like Vinny from down the, you know what I mean? But you and I have very similar skin tones and stuff. I'm a fairly hairy individual, borderline Chewbacca. I don't know about you.
Italian German, that's a breed, huh?
Yeah.
Italian German. Our producer Tatiana is from Germany.
Yep.
Fluent in German, and she produces the show. So
that's amazing. Hello, Tatiana.
Yeah. Hey,
that's
thank
amazing.
you so much. We're going to talk about her at the end of the podcast.
But yeah, I mean, this is for my complexion. I'm
pretty pale.
Yeah.
I used to get tan, but I don't like laying out anymore, and I don't think I'm going to do that anymore. I don't want to get any skin blemishes or cancer.
Yep, we got to watch for that.
Back in the day, it did get golden brown.
Yes, the golden. You and I would have that beautiful golden.
Yeah.
And we had blonde hair.
I had blonde hair.
So we would get that perfect, beautiful
thick,
blonde.
nice blonde hair.
Boy, the memories, Mike.
Where did it go? All right, so these are 2 really great products.
Yeah.
Tell everybody where they can get it.
Yep. Shop.thesalonguy.com. And, just missed the big Black Friday sales and all that, which were great. But shop.thesalonguy.com. And I'm always running monthly discounts and specials and things like that. So I have a full range, hair tools, hair products.
Smells great.
Yeah, thank you. Styling products. I got a whole range of different things for any hair type and hairstyle. So I appreciate you mentioning that.
Have you heard, before we move on,
Yeah.
of a shampoo or a conditioner that is vegan?
Of course.
Do you have it?
Well, vegan, yes. My stuff is, a lot of my products are vegan, cruelty-free. The thing about vegan is people think an all-natural product. You've heard that before. Oh, it's all natural. Well, first of all, there's no preservatives in it to keep bacteria from growing in it and stuff like that. So a lot of these products, they have a shelf life of like 6 hours. You know what I mean? So it's all natural. It's cool to be vegan, but if you have certain products that don't have specific ingredients to help fight from bacteria and things that could grow from then, it's cool, but you need to have some stuff in there. You know what I mean? So vegan means it's not, no animal products, things like that, and then cruelty-free is important too, because nowadays you don't even see that much of that anymore. But
well, that's good. Well, tell us about this Salon Guy spray, which I like using.
Yep, it's called Locked XL. So the main reason I called it Locked was it's designed to lock your hair in style. It's
it
a
does.
hairspray. It's an aerosol hairspray.
Locks you in, baby.
Hairsprays are a nightmare when it comes to having them made. It's probably the most incredible smelling hairspray ever. And it's really, really challenging to make hairsprays. Okay? Really challenging. This is my only hairspray right now. And it's designed to give a medium to firm hold kind of a matte finish, doesn't add any sort of heavy shine. It's not like heavy lacquer hairspray. It's a good kind of working spray. Hairsprays to me are about setting it and forgetting it. You do your look, you style your hair, you want to set it because you don't want it to move, you spray it, and that's it. You're done. You know what I mean? That's what a hairspray really should do, is the finish. It's the last thing you should be putting on your hair to hold it off.
It's got some shine to it.
A little bit, natural shine, you know?
I like the wet look.
Yeah. So it's wet. When you hold it like this, Mike, and you go real close,
Yeah.
because the water, it's gonna appear more wet. I always say hold it about a foot away and spray it and let it mist and settle on your hair. Then it's not gonna look as wet.
Right.
Okay.
I like that. I put it up close. I like a little wet look.
right.
I only got the sides anyway.
See, there you go. No, you could. If I were doing, I would spray your entire head. I'd spray all of
I
it.
spray the top.
Yeah.
It's not going to go anywhere anyway, but I like doing it. Tell us about this. This is my favorite thing. I mean, I really wished I could get into this. I mean, I don't have enough
Yeah.
hair. I wish
Well,
I could have like a dippity-doo, with the little ring in the front like Superman.
Now,
But this is such a cool product.
Thank you. And I have 3 other ones. This one in that same kind of range right there. I specifically picked this one for you because it's a grooming paste. Okay, so it's a light grooming product, which means that you take a light scoop out, you work it through your hands, and it actually gets softer as you work it through your hands. The reason I went with grooming is because when you're imagine grooming your hair, you're lightly patting it and lightly grooming. So that's why it's a grooming paste. So it gives a very light kind of hold and light texture. It's good for taming, you got flyaways, so you can use it on your hair. You got plenty of hair to use it. It's just products are designed for every different scenarios. You know what I mean?
I'll be using this from now on.
There you go.
I love
That's
it.
why, and that's the thing about my products, is everything is kind of custom crafted. Now, here's another interesting thing: is being a hairstylist. Do you know what my competition is, Mike? Nowadays,
Who?
the 20-year-old who lives at home, who's making hair products from his basement, who has never been a hair professional once before, and that's who I'm up against nowadays. Coming out with some random sea salt spray or some random product that they're making in their kitchen, and now selling hair products.
Well, there's always going to be competition. You got to stay ahead of the game.
Yep.
The head of the game.
The more hair I lose, the more head I get.
All right.
Hey.
Hey, we'll be here all week. Thank you very much. Try to veal. Here's another product. Now, I don't have this one.
that
I
one's-
want to open it.
That's hardcore, man. That's called Power Cream. That's like a bulletproof hold cream gel. So now on the flip side, if you say, I don't want my hair to move, this is for a guy who literally has, a slick back or shorter spiked hair, and they don't
Guy
want
only, girl?
No, women can use it too. Someone who's got really short hair, and they don't want the hair to move. They want to just put it in their hair, set it and forget it. It's a cream, and that's it. And then they're going to get really, really strong hold. Much better than your $3 gel at the pharmacy or something like that. It's really, really good quality stuff. Again, along the line, cruelty-free. It's got good ingredients in it. Power Cream. So it's a powerful cream. Really, really good product. It's one of my best sellers too. Just a little squeeze. You're not going to need a lot of it. It's probably you have to give it a good shake.
We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Let me see. Oh, come on. Where is it? I didn't have a lot of my products with me, so I had to pull stuff from where I had it. All right, so that's why it's because it's frozen.
It's cold from
It's
outside?
Cold, yeah. So it's a cream consistency.
Cold outside.
Yeah, it's the weather, so it's a cream consistency. You work it through your hands. Yeah, there we go. Now watch this. As you work it through your hands, watch how sticky it.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
Look at that. So it transforms.
Holy moly.
Yeah. So that's why it's a powerful cream gel. You want your hair to not move, you put this in your hair. Yep. I have a warehouse in Texas, so it's like 980 degrees in Texas.
Wow.
I only had a handful of stuff here at my house, so I brought over a couple things that I had.
This is cool, man. I like this. Extreme hold. Yeah, they ain't kidding, man.
Yeah. And
I could feel it stiff in the back of my head.
Hey. Hey, is that hair cream? You're happy to see me.
Crafted. This is nice. Nice color.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now that's a sub brand of mine, Crafted. So my range is all over the place, which is kind of, I got a whole variety of different products. I think what's also interesting, and this is one of my newer ones, is One. It's the first ever 3-in-1 hair product, where it's a cream gel, a pomade, and a hair clay, depending on how you mix it into your hands. That's one
So
of my newest.
who comes up with this? I mean,
Me.
are you a chemist?
I'm not a chemist, but the people who manufacture my stuff, I tell them I'm looking for this. I don't like these ingredients. I don't like that. We go back and forth, and then the final result, I get a sample usually, and I test the sample out. And I don't have anything. I test the sample, and
Trying to open the product.
yeah, I test the sample, and then I go, oh my god, this is it. It's perfect. And being a professional, knowing hair, the way I sample things and try it out is on hair. I test it in different mannequins I have, different hairstyles, and I test it. And I go, this is it. It's ready. Same with the fragrance. I test the fragrances. Yep, you flip that down, you pop open the hood, and there she is.
Oh, wow.
Check that out.
You got to show everybody. This is like such a cool case.
It is. Kind of more modern packaging.
All right, so there it is.
And you flip the hood open.
Boom.
Yep. And then you scoop it, and depending on how you work it into your hands, that's how you're getting the 3 different types of products. So it's like a light cream. If you lightly work it through your hands, it's a cream kind of gel. If you work it through your hands one more layer than that, it's a pomade. And then all the way through where you don't see anything, it becomes a hair clay. No one else has this. The first ever 3-in-1. That's why I called it 1.
So, like, what's the difference between 1 and the crafted?
They're all like this. Wouldn't give you the kind of extreme hold crafted. Crafted is more of an actual cream. This is more of a kind of a paste or clay texture. So the texture is different. The performance is different.
So what would be the difference between, let's say, crafted and a typical hair gel?
Yeah, well, a typical hair gel, maybe it's not a cream. Mine's it's just like a gel form, where this is a cream. So typical gels, especially on the lower end, they tend to dry up and flake.
Well, I don't want to sound stupid, but cream would think your skin.
Yes, and that's why it's more of a premium product. You want your skin to look and feel good.
Right.
So it's the same thing with hair. That's why I went with a cream, because I wanted to be more of a creamy consistency to be able to work through the hair easier. Sometimes
Such
hair
a cool
gel.
box.
Thanks. Sometimes hair gels, you put a glob on your hand and you just blob it right on your head, and you go, okay, that's it. Or it's a different type of texture. So, but what's really interesting beyond my products is the brand, the Salon Guy, the name. Building a brand is like.
Well, I seen your studio on the internet, and I see how you film. You put things in front of the green screen, and you got the little zoom in, and that's really, really brilliant and genius. I mean, you've really taken your career to the next level. Not just the guy who cuts hair in a salon. He's the guy who creates what you do in the salon and what you get.
Yep.
So are these products all
they're unisex? Yep, they're unisex. Yeah. So I have a great range. A really great range. And that's the thing. It's also my worst nightmare, is being so innovative and always trying to come up with new things. That's my biggest challenge. And also money. It's just like, oh God, I can't even afford this, and I want to come out with something else. You become addicted to coming out with products because you just think it's going to be a hit. And sometimes it isn't, to be honest with you. Sometimes it's a dud.
So if everybody out there wanted some products from you, where are they going?
Shop.thesalonguy.com.
Shop.thesalonguy.com.
Yep.
What is thesalonguy.com? A regular website?
Yeah, it's my website. That's my main website, where it just kind of leads you to there. You can click on it, my products. But the salon, you always want to have a main, like Mike Marino Live, always a main website. So thesalonguy.com is like my main hub, which describes like who I am, a bit more about me, the overall brand, and then shop.thesalonguy.com or thesalonguy.com/shop. It all goes to my shop.
Right. So thesalonguy.com.
Yep.
This all looks really cool. I know
Appreciate it,
I'm
man.
looking down like this, but this is just such a cool box. I got to make a joke
really
about
neat.
this, but this is what I would keep pot in here.
Exactly.
When I'm done
Yes.
with all of this is where I'm keeping my marijuana.
It'll camouflage the smell
Yes.
too. What's that smell? That can't be in there. No, it smells like a hair
He
product.
knows that from the Limelight days. How do you know how to disguise his smell?
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
a Salon Guy products.
Yeah.
Is that hash?
Yeah.
No, it's nose cream.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Exactly. And also about the Salon Guy, I was one of the first people in the hair industry 15 years ago to create a brand, to create a YouTube channel.
Oh, is that right?
I've been on-
your YouTube channel is banging, huh?
Yeah, it's it's all right. I've over 3,000 videos on YouTube, but I think it's more of the legacy, because when I first started my YouTube channel, I was one of the first people in the hair industry to create a brand, a putting out content. But it all came from me reading a book and getting inspired. You know, a lot of stuff comes from inspiration.
What book?
Well, it's called Crush It by Gary Vaynerchuk. Have you ever heard of Gary Vaynerchuk?
No.
He's like the Oprah of social media. Well, not Oprah, but he's basically a guru of social media, right? Content creation. He runs a big agency in New York City, very, very well-known, huge name. He wrote a book called Crush It, How to Turn Your Passion into a Business.
Right.
This was 15 years ago. I found him on YouTube. He was doing a keynote speech, and in front of everyone, he goes, "Stop doing shit you hate." I was like, what the hell? It was so impactful the way he was coming across, telling people, like, you work these 9-to-5s, you hate doing it. If you love the Smurfs, then make a blog about Smurfs. Talk about wine, talk about this. And he created a show called Wine Library, and he owns Wine Library over in Springfield. That's his family. Crush It, turn your business into a passion, or turn your passion into a business. I read it step by step. Start putting yourself out there. Buy a video camera. And I started doing that for hair. And I started making videos about the hair industry. Then I wanted to become a media personality. I wanted to be the Ryan Seacrest of the salon industry. That's when I started going out with a camera guy, a microphone, going to hair shows, interviewing people. And went from that, I'll give you a quick timeline, and went from that to, Steven, you got to stop interviewing like Bob, the salon owner. I'm like, well, these people I know, they're in the industry. No, you have to attach yourself to celebrities. I'm like, how the hell do I do that? This is a little lesson. I'm not going to give away all the secrets. Him, I'll tell on the side, but not. But if you can attach yourself to something that's much bigger than you, it just instantly elevates you, your exposure.
Right. I
did that, and I said, how do I go to Fashion Week? At the time, Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week was at Lincoln Center. Get yourself a press credential, buy a DSLR camera, have a camera guy with you, get credentialed, go into the shows, and go right to the front row. I go, then what? He goes, you go up to them and ask them to interview them.
Yeah.
That, Mike, is what started me from interviewing the local salon owner to major celebrities, designers, and then getting me on, TV and then reality shows, and it literally elevated me, to the next extreme, and then became the salon guy. He's a big celebrity he was on at the Oscars. He's interviewing, he's doing this.
And now he's on Live from My Mother's Basement.
This is the biggest of all. It is. The biggest of all. I grew up in a basement. Italians, they want to keep you in a house till you're about 60.
Hey, listen, man. When I call my celebrity friends and I say, okay, I need my favor returned, I'm very lucky and blessed that I know some Oscar winners that I say, hey, listen now. But I always waited for the right opportunity.
Right.
Because in the beginning, I was doing this because of the pandemic. But when it caught on and started making a couple of dollars and I started getting some sponsors, well, now this is one of the things I love doing the most. So I can call my celebrity friends, but I like doing something different, something odd, something creative. So, okay, here comes the salon guy. Let's show people what they didn't think I would bring to the table. A guy who can actually educate you on hair products from his massive experiences in that business. Mm-hmm. Plus, people are now going to Google Limelight and say, oh my gosh, look at that place, which I don't think it's open anymore. Didn't they close?
You know what it is now? It's a pizzeria. They turned the entire church into a damn pizzeria. I just saw a video on it. A guy gave a tour on it last week. I saw on Instagram. He's like, this is the Limelight. The entire thing is a pizzeria.
It's in the Village, right?
It's on 6th and 20th. So
wow. Wow.
Yep. I remember. So this guy.
What was the name of that church before it was the Limelight?
Gosh, I don't know. I can't remember that.
Imagine that.
But he walked in when he was doing this tour of this pizzeria. He was walking around the different spots of the Limelight. I go, oh my God, I was at that spot. I was at this spot. I was like, I could literally take you on a tour and tell you what I did in that place, to be honest with you. But speaking, you've had some big names.
This used to be the kitchen.
Yeah, exactly.
Now it's a confessional.
This is the stall that I did what in? Oh boy.
Right. No, wait. This is where you made a confession. What do you do now here? Blow.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Oh, that's so bad.
But you've had some big names on here, but also I want to congratulate you. This is what, 370, you've done over 300 of these shows.
We're coming up upon, let's say, 350.
350.
I don't know the exact number.
Wow.
But we air every Tuesday night. Yeah, 350.
How do you know 350 people?
Yeah, right?
That's insane.
They're on the wall. You got to sign the wall.
I will.
And, I'm
Just
really
no
lucky, man. I got a great director who does a lot of my videos, Cody Boson, who is married to the producer of this show, Tatiana Bluchel. So Tell everybody one more time where they can find all your products. Maybe
Yeah.
if you don't cut hair at all anymore.
No,
right?
unfortunately, I'm retired.
dye
And
hair?
I don't do any of that stuff anymore. I don't see clients anymore, unfortunately.
So it's all about product sales?
Well, product sales and creating content. So I do create content. I'll use mannequins, or sometimes I'll get a model in here and there and do some, travel around. And, as a content creator, technically you're a content creator too.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, aside from being a comedian and hairstylist, we're all content creators. And you need that to build a brand for yourself, to grow, get exposure. It's amazing what you do, your lives every day. I know people who don't want to put any effort into this stuff. Then they complain why they're not doing it.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of
But
work.
it helps sell tickets for where I go on tour, and I enjoy it because I make a lot of friends.
Yep.
If I can help somebody with their career, cool. If I can help somebody who's watching the show, who enjoys what I bring to the table, great. I am one happy son of a bitch, and I'm not stopping. We're on our
right.
way to 2025. Live from My Mother's Basement is going to be the name of my tour for the whole year, 2025. And then we're going to do maybe Make America Italian Again Season 2.
Excuse me, excuse me.
Uh-oh.
Nobody can make Italians better than I do. The Italians love me.
Good for you, man. That's good.
You've
That's
heard me
good.
do my, right? You like that. But the Salon Guy, it's literally all my social media at The Salon Guy, YouTube The Salon Guy, thesalonguy.com, shop.thesalonguy.com. You just search The Salon Guy on Google and you'll see, loads and loads of stuff.
He's a great guy. He's got some great products. I hope you guys will follow him, log on to his sites, check out what he wants, what he sells. And if you enjoy it, you can purchase from him, and make sure you tell him you saw him live from My Mother's Basement. We got to get going. I want to thank my guest, Stephen Marinaro, for coming down to the basement.
Thank you so much.
Remember, ladies and gentlemen, let's make America Italian again. You know the motto. You don't know nothing, you don't see nothing, you don't say nothing. I want to thank my producer, Tatiana Blue Shell, for making sure we always have a great guest come down to the basement, and you guys get to share that. You can watch us every Tuesday night exclusively on my YouTube channel until 2025. It's going to have a big, big surprise where you're going to get to watch this show. We're also on Spotify, which you could listen to, but you can actually watch the show. We also air on Italian American radio in New York City. So we got to get going. Remember that motto one more time. You don't know nothing, you don't see nothing, you don't say nothing. And how do I end every single one of my broadcasts? By saying the same thing along with my guest. Ready?
Yes.
Don't take no shit from nobody. Hey folks, thanks for watching Live from My Mother's Basement. I hope you enjoyed the show. And if you did, hit the word like and leave me a really cool comment. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss any of the future episodes, and you can watch some of the funniest videos on the internet. You can also listen to the show on Spotify or your favorite podcast app.